Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Small Business Chronicles here on the Meepleville Board Game channel. Thank you so much for joining us and watching. And remember, if you like these videos, go ahead and subscribe below and hit that like button also, because that helps a lot too. So today we're going to talk about the library, right? Because if you're opening up a board game cafe, that is probably going to be the star attraction, why people are coming. Now, there are places, as I said, who are more cafes, maybe with just some games, or a bar or restaurant with just some games. That's fine too. My model is all about gaming. Gaming is the star. It's the number one. It's the entertainment venue that I told you about. That's my number one service and experience. So it's all about the games. So I have quite an extensive game library, about 2,500 games. And so I'll tell you what I do. And again, as I've always said before, there may be differing opinions, different ways to handle this and do things differently. I'll tell you how I do it. We can talk about different things. And again, remember, comments below. If you have questions, if you have things you want to know about, ideas or whatever, put them in the comments below so that way we can talk about them. So first of all, let's get into the shelving. I, as you can see, love Kallax shelves by IKEA. And full disclosure, I don't have stock at IKEA. I'm not getting paid by them. However, I should, because I have so many Kallax shelves. It's unbelievable. I like the brown. I have white in retail, and my popular game section you'll see also is white. But the rest of the library is brown. I just think it gives it that more comforting feel, that more warm feel. In the retail, it's nice and bright. So I like that aspect of it. So when people walk in, they see these nice white, bright shelves. So I think it gives that clean look. But for the library, I like the brown look. And they just fit games perfectly. The majority of games, of course, some of them can't fit, like you can see in this picture up top there. We got some large games. Also, as far as stacking games, I prefer vertical, like books with the spine out. I just like that look. I'm old school, so I used libraries when I was a kid, and I just prefer that look. Some people put them horizontal, so they stack on top of each other. I've always found that that's a problem trying to get like that second game from the bottom or something in the middle. You got to, do a whole jigsaw puzzle. This also has its inherent problems too, right? With pieces falling and stuff like that. And, unless you have rubber bands around them or they're packed in tightly. So both ways have their built-in problems. However, I like this look because it looks like a library. It's what people are used to. It makes it clean, and I do like that look. So one of the things we're going to talk about, or a lot of things we're going to talk about, is where you put them, how you store them, and all that kind of stuff. So as you can see right here, this is what I call the upper area, because we have a little ramp that goes into the upper area, which is a larger library. This is one side of it. So we have these shelves here. Now we have the sections labeled in different sections, and I'll go ahead and talk about that and show you that too. So right here, as you can see, new to the library. Because again, here is something you need to consider. A lot of people like to put games maybe in certain categories, and we do, and I'll show you that. However, for the majority of games, we just stick them in a place, and of course, we have them labeled, categorized in a book. We'll get into that too, so people can find every single game in our cafe. But new games here, this is where, because what I noticed a lot of times is, like, after trade shows, like say Gamma, or after conventions, Origins, Gen Con, Essen, whatever, I'll come back and sometimes have 10, 20, 30 games, and they'll be sitting there a while because we're trying to find places to put them on the shelves. You know what? Forget about that. Just have a new game library. So the label on the game actually just says new. And we stick it on the game and stick it in that section. We do log it in the book. It's like a front page, so people know like that's a new game. Then after a while, we can cycle it out and stick it in the shelf later. But a new to the library section is a way to ensure that you're just getting games out so people can get to them and play them, and they're not just sitting on a table or a booth like we used to do for a long time, kind of, stuck out of the way. Get them up there so people can see. New to the library, they'll be right up there, so you can go ahead and have access to those games, and your customers can have access to those games. Most popular games. This is, you can see the games you see right there. This is just some of the games right there. But in this section, we have the Catan, Ticket to Ride, Pandemic, Desert Island, Azul, Betrayal, which is really popular. So these are just the most popular games. A lot of them are games also that myself and the staff, we all know how to teach. But we've noticed that get played a lot and are the popular games. So that way, when people come in, it's one of the first things they see as we're giving a tour, showing them Meepleville. We can say, and look, over there is our most popular games like Catan, Ticket to Ride, Splendor, Pandemic. You're probably familiar with those. And if they're gamers, they're like, oh yeah, we know all those. So these are just all the most popular games. And people who are the casual gamers who may not know the gaming world, they may have played Catan. They may have no Ticket to Ride. So that gives them something too that they're familiar with and they know. And they go and look at that section because they're like, wow, these are the most popular games. These are what people are playing. Let me see what they play so I can learn what they're playing. So I think this is a good section to have. Next, we have Classic Americana. Now, this is one section here. I'll go to the next one real quick, too. Here's our other, I mean, it's all one section, but different games you can see. Here you can see the Monopoly, Taboo, Category, stuff like that. Down here, you can see Life, Jenga, Yahtzee, Uno, Skip-Bo. So these are what we call the Classic Americana, the kind of games we grew up with. This is very, very important. If you're opening up a board game cafe, I would probably suggest or assume, and I could be wrong, that you're a gamer, that you play games, you love games. Let's not be too much of ourselves. And what I mean by that is, do not sleep on Connect 4, Battleship, Sorry, Life, Monopoly, Parcheesi, Mousetrap, Uno. Don't sleep on those. Make sure you have those in the library, because I promise people will come in and play them. Because again, of course, gamers like us are going to love your place, want to come in and play. But the overwhelming majority are probably going to be people who want a night out, a fun event. They come to my place, the entertainment thing, they want a different night, a date night, a group night, team building, whatever it happens to be. But guess what? They're going to want the Connect 4. Uno, Scrabble, Monopoly, Life. Even younger kids, right? They may go to their grandparents or whatever, see like a Life or Monopoly or something in the shelf in the closet. They've never played it. They don't know it, but they want to play it here. They see it. So make sure you have those games. Very, very vital. So that's what we call our Classic Americana section. And yes, I do understand games like some like Cluedo, Milbourne, even though we have Cluedo, those aren't necessarily American games, but anyway, we have them in that section. So in case you're going to comment about that, I'll get ahead of you there. So that's Classic Americana section. And as you can see, Kathleen, who is lovely, she put up little pawns, as you can see, and the little guy from Monopoly, and just things like that. Make it look attractive and really, really nice. Two-player section. Right above that, you can see new, like I was saying, right? We just get a new game. We just stick a new label on it and stick it up there. A two-player section. Very, very important. And you're probably wondering, well, wait a second, you've got Castelli and Sylvia and Honorum in there. Yeah, because one player too. We don't have enough games for just a strict one-player section, so they go in the two-player section. This is essential and vital because a lot of your customers are going to be coming in as a couple or two friends, however, the combination of two people may be, mother, daughter, father, son, whatever. Two players. So this is a very, very popular section. I highly recommend curating it regularly, being very familiar with those games, because you're going to be teaching a lot of two-player games. And these are like mostly two-player only games, because again, other games can be played with two people like Splendor, but they're not in the two-player section. So this is like a two-player only section that we have there. And again, make your own kind of label or sign, whatever you want, just something to put up there, but that people can easily read and it's recognizable. Small games. This is a section. Now, this isn't a Calyx shelf. This is like a Billy Bob shelf, I think, or something. I don't know. I forgot the name of it for Calyx. But as you can see, this has all like the unlocks we have there, the Looney, the Fluxes, Lunacy Fluxes, the small games from Yellow, the mini games. Just, small games. That's it. And again, No rhyme or reason, but anybody can find any game in our library. I'll get to the book. It's coming up there. Just make sure they can find it. Just small games. Keep them all in one area, because this one shelf, if you look, there's probably about 10, 15 games per shelf, if not more. So this one shelf right there probably has over 100 games on it easily, if not more. And you're going to have a lot of small games, trust me. Kids. So kids games, we kind of stuck into a corner because we don't get a whole lot of requests or needs for kids games, but we do have quite a few, probably, I don't know, 60, 70, 80 kids games. But some of them we have in bins, as you can see right here, because we just ran out of shelf space. But again, we have them labeled. You can still find it because it'll say bin A, bin B, or whatever. So they can go and find the games there. But you can see Kathleen made that nice little like kind of Sesame Street-ish kind of sign for kids games. So we can point people in that direction. They can go and get the kids games. Trivia. We have quite a big trivia section here, several sections of the calyx. And again, as you can see, all kinds of trivia. People like trivia. So just make sure you have, those, even if it's a small area, just so they can find them, because people come in and say, hey, do you have trivia? Boom. We got music, we have Bible, we have baseball, we have movie, trivia, Trivial Pursuit, got several different copies of that. So a lot of trivia games. Party games. This is going to be one of your probably biggest sections, probably most looked at sections, and the games are probably going to be some of the most used games as well. These are, as you can see, typical party games. Again, Kathleen made a very lovely sign there, so you can see. And I have a couple more pictures here, the little decorations with hats and, the party atmosphere. But you can see, like, Buzzword, Pitcherica. Over to the top right there, you can see One Night Werewolf. We even stuck like Medium in there, Mad Gab, Spyfall, things like that. And then over here, more party games. You can see the Cards Against Humanity, Disturbed Friends, The Table is Lava, Joking Hazard, things like that. We even have Love Letter in there, because that's kind of like a party-ish type of game, but it's just a good social interact fun quick game. But Exploding Kittens, Rhino Hero, Good Cop Bad Cop, you can see. So yeah, this section is very, very popular. People go and peruse this all the time, and party games get played a lot. Now I'm going to stop here and talk a little bit about the wear and tear of games, because I'm looking over here at like our Cards Against Humanity. I've probably been through 4 or 5 sets of Cards Against Humanity. Do not sleeve them. I don't. When I say do not, I'm saying we do not sleeve them, because it's one of those things that your library is a cost. There is a COGS, right? Cost of goods and services that is associated with your library. And games like Cards Against Humanity is just one that I've decided to eat. That what I mean is, every 3-4 months, whatever it is, just buy a new box, because it's just a lot of hassle. And then we'll have, those 3 or 4 random boxes in the back that we have of that get worn and torn. But yeah, so that's a decision you need to make about what type of games you want to sleeve, you want to take care of. I recommend all of the board games, like when you're unboxing and putting them away, yes, put them in packages, put them in little plastic containers I get from the dollar store. Some of the more popular ones we do sleeve. So it's just your choice of which ones get played more, which ones maybe have a higher value you want to protect. Those are the ones you're going to sleeve and take care of. All right, but it's just a personal decision based on your clientele and the usage of the games. Word games here, as you can see, Password, Jumble, Kerflip, Jargon. Again, this is just a section because people come in. Hey, I like word games. I like Scrabble. Here, we'll go over here. Let me show you. Abstract strategy. This is what we consider abstract strategy, just, tossing shapes, building blocks, pitch car, Exago, Abalone, mental blocks. So you can see the games up there we consider abstract strategy. Up top there you can see Bombaleo, and over there to the left on the top would be Hamster Roll. So that's what we consider the abstract strategy section. Now the next section's coming up. These are for the casual gamers and people who are coming in who may not be familiar with a lot of different board games out of what they've grown up with. So when we're giving tours and I take them up to the back area, remember that first picture I showed you with the whole shelf of the back area? As we're talking about games, one of the things to do that I felt was necessary to make people comfortable, because again, when you get casual gamers and they walk into especially our place with over 2,500 games, it can be a little intimidating and overwhelming, and you never want them to feel that they're out of place or it isn't welcoming, it's not for them. So these next sections, what I wanted to do is make sure that when they come up and I show them these, I had sections that were outlined that they knew. I could say, look, there's a space section, right? So you can see the space games, and people are like, yeah, I know what space is over here. And like, look at the nice little sign with the, planets in space. Look, we have vampires, zombies, and monsters. And again, as you can see with the Calyx things, these are only like maybe 2 sections. So it's just for that purpose of pointing out different sections to give people that sense of familiarity, to make them feel comfortable walking into your place and not intimidated by the massive amount of games. They have no idea what they are. Over here, again, transportation. Look at the nice little signs with, boats and trucks and trains and stuff. And again, just a few transportation games. You guys know these, right? Whistle Stop, Downforce. Even look at, they don't know the 4X games there, right? But still, it's a train. It's transportation. They know it. Lord of the Rings. Okay, this is something, again, this is a extremely popular IP. Everybody knows. So I'm like, look, we have a Lord of the Rings section. Again, they're comfortable. They're like, oh, I know Lord of the Rings. Pirate section. Again, I think we have 4 sections you can see here of pirate games. People know pirate games. Board Game Geek games. Now, I haven't updated these in a while because I used to be pretty diligent about it. Like about once every 2 or 3 months, I'd go in and I'd kind of like reorder them. But now, as you can see, these are all like the really popular Board Game Geek games. The reason I have this section, that's right, for us, for the gamers. So that way, when the people are coming in, I'm like, oh, look, we have the classic Americana, Clue, Risk, Monopoly, blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. And then I bring them up to the upper section and I'm like, oh, look, we have Board Game Geek section, if you're familiar with that. And like the hardcore gamers, now they're satisfied, right? All of a sudden they know, oh, this place is legit. They have Board Game Geek games. So it's just one of those kind of marketing things too, right? Because I want to make sure that every single level of gamer, that I have something for them and they know it. From the popular games, Catan, Ticket to Ride, classic America games, Monopoly, Clue, all that kind of stuff, Board Game Geek, hardcore Euros, all that kind of stuff. So any type of gamer, there's something for them and they know that when they walk in. Now, as far as labeling the games, you can choose whatever kind of labels you want. It's the not Dynamo or whatever it is. I'm sorry, I can't think of the name right now, but it's that free thing online, right? They got the free templates. You go to like Office Depot, you buy the little stickers, top them on there. We just have different sections, okay? But as you can see, the labels are nice and big and clear so people can see them. Each box is its own section. And I'll show you, see, like even here, BGG 3, B3. So, top shelf would be A, then B, and then 1, 2, 3 section over tells you where you can find, might be 2 sections, I forgot. But anyway, everything is very, very clear, right? So now, this is key. This is imperative. I would dare say whether or not you have a cafe that has 50 games or whether you have a cafe that has, like we do, 2,500 games, have at least one catalog available for your customers. This, as you can see, very, very simple, all alphabetical, and it tells people exactly where the games are. So let me go a little bit closer up here. For example, let's go ahead and start with the top. Macroscope, D23. Mad City, look, Mad Gab, Party, C3. Magomag, Backwall, C10. Mage Wars, BGG, D5. Magic Labyrinth, Kids, C3, exactly where every game is. Because sometimes people come in, they want a particular game. Now they know exactly where it is. But I know what you're thinking. How are they going to find it? Ha! Check it out. Oh, I miss her so much. Kathleen was fantastic. She was just a dream come true for everything. She was just so good at everything. But anyway, as you can see, she made a little map and a legend for us. So as you can see, it has all of these sections, and she labeled them. Look, in section 1, you can find pens, papers, dice trays. 2, that's where the small games are, the trivia, party, BGG games, games just the letter, A1 through F23, abstract strategy, word games, wide games, front counter games. And also, if you can't find a game, please ask a staff member. So again, this is sort of like a scaled down version of the layout of our store. So as people are reading this, look, with the star even, you are here. It tells you where all the sections are, where you can find them. Again, try to make it as easy as possible, because there's going to be nights, hopefully, where you're just popping, right? And the place is packed. So as we give a tour, when people come in and say they've paid, right? Especially if they've paid and they're coming to stay, give them the tour around, show them where the restrooms are, this and that, blah, 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 bring them where, and then tell them, and look, we have catalogs here. So if you're looking for a particular game, you can find it. We have a map to tell you exactly where it's located. But of course, if you need help, feel free to come and ask us. But boom, now you can run back and get to whatever work you need. But at least people know that they're not lost. They can find something. So they just want to look up Monopoly, Clue, Catan, Castles of Burgundy, whatever it is. Boom, flip open the book, and they can go find it. They can get started, okay? Very, very important, the book and where you can find it. Oh, and I think, oh yeah, because I don't see another thing here. I think that's it as far as the pictures. So again, I just wanted to talk a little bit about the library. I hope I didn't go too long. But remember, write down below your comments, your questions, whatever it is you'd like to talk about. I will get back to them. I will answer them. But anyway, good luck, and make a nice library. See you soon.